I'd like to welcome Guy Hirsch to the stage, Managing Director of eToro USA. So Guy, I know eToro has been around for a long time internationally, and I know a little bit about it because previous things. But tell us a little bit more about eToro, because I think in the United States, not everyone is familiar with it.
Right. So eToro is a global investment platform. We've been around since 2007. Started off as a forex trading platform. Really grew both in terms of scale and offering in the past 12 years or so. So today, we're a global investment platform. We provide individuals worldwide with the opportunity to trade in the world's markets. You can go online to eToro.com or download the app, open an account, fund it, and then trade across 6 different asset classes. We have US stocks, indices, commodities, ETFs, currencies, and cryptocurrencies, all in the same platform. You can build all sorts of interesting portfolios. What really kind of sets us apart is our social kind of features. So by default, your trades, your track record are being shared with the rest of the community. People can see how well you're doing with your own real money. So people can discover each other and see how well they're doing. And we have additional features that really bring it to the next level, something called Copy Trader, which allows people to actually copy one another, so invest in one another. You just put $1,000, $5,000, $10,000 in someone you find interesting, and then everything they do will happen in your portfolio on a proportional basis. It's really cool kind of portfolio management feature. In terms of scale, outside of the US, we have more than 10 million registered users. Last year, we did more than $1 trillion worth of trading volume. Company has more than 600 employees. Most of them are in Israel, which is where our headquarters is located at, about 400 people, and we have offices in each and every continent. So this is eToro.
Incredible. Actually, before I dive in, I just went right in, but tell us a little bit about your background. You're the Managing Director for US, how long you've been at eToro, and give us a little bit.
Sure. So I've been an entrepreneur. Started 2 companies. One started in 2003, sold in 2005. It was a kind of a homeland security company off the kind of the beaten track. Then I started another one that ended up being an enterprise software company. On the tail end of that company, the product that we created was adopted by Samsung. That led me to 2 roles at Samsung. I was leading their retail innovation program, and then I was the director for innovation strategy for Samsung North America. And then in December of 2017, I joined eToro.
Love it. And eToro right now, so the big announcement for eToro, before I dive into it some more, the big announcement was the launch in the United States. And what made that special? Because you've been international. Obviously, was it licensing and things like that to fully launch in the United States?
It was more a strategic decision by our management team to have a really strong foundation to launch into the US. So our management team decided that once we have enough war chest, and we raised $162 million to date, once we're profitable, healthy, very healthy balance sheet, then it's the right time to go into one of the most important markets. And so that was the trigger. We started building the foundation in terms of licenses, compliance, operations, everything that we had to put in place. And then we officially launched in March 7th in San Francisco, and doing great since then.
Love it. Yeah, and by the way, you guys put on a killer event in San Francisco. A lot of fun. So the main thing that I always loved about eToro, and I've been familiar way before the United States, was the social aspect. Those following people who are better at you or have that track record at it than you. Because I always joke, I love early stage startups. In early stage startup world, you're not trading in and out. You're basically investing in the person, right? And this is almost a similar way, because you get to invest in the person that you trust more than the trading in and out. Because I always tell people I'm a terrible trader. That's why I point at the people in the room that are good traders, and I do what they tell me to do, or I don't do it at all. You have to be disciplined. So what I love about eToro is the ability to follow. So you know, it's been happening for a long time. Have there been, you know, any sort of breakout stars in that world on the international side? And I would love to, and then tell people how they can maybe start tracking their trades and participate in that, because I would love, you know, a few of my friends that are in the room to sign up, because I want to follow them on eToro and just do what they do.
100%. So outside of the US, we have hundreds of people that their primary source of living is trading their own money on eToro, because our program is structured such that as you get popular, as more and more people are copying you, we would then invite you to something that we call the Popular Investor Program, and that would entitle you to get 2% of the total assets that are copying you. So as if you're opening your own mutual fund or hedge fund, we would pay you 2%, we would give you the distribution, we would give you the platform, and all you have to do is just manage your own money successfully on eToro, explain yourself. We have this kind of Facebook-style feed at the heart of the application, so you can post content about your trades, your strategy, why you're doing the things that you're doing. And it's just an environment that is essentially allows everyone to try it out, and if they're successful, they will make money. Here in the US, we have this notion of accredited investors versus retail investors. So hedge funds, crypto hedge funds, are essentially not accessible to retail investors. And we want to change that. We want to allow people to see who's doing really, really well, who's a great crypto investor, and then just be able to invest in that, as opposed to what's happening today, which essentially blocks a vast number of people from the opportunity to really say, okay, I want to invest. I'm looking for someone who's doing it really well, but I cannot do it because I'm not an accredited investor.
Yeah, I mean, that's a huge, obviously, a driver here, right? I mean, we come here, one of the main reasons why CIS exists, because we want to create a mainstream conference where it's not just, you know, not just the cool kids club. And so many people want to participate. I get probably 10 questions each time that they're here where people finally dive in, right? Like, you know, you convince them, finally they dive in, and then they're coming to me at the end of the show and they go, how do I just participate and take it a little more? And I always tell them, you know, get this app, put $20 in, follow it for a week, and you will know more than 99% of the people that are in your sphere, right? And this is an incredible way to kind of do both, but also learn from experts. So if I follow someone, I can essentially, like you said, I can put in $1,000 and then keep my portfolio aligned with theirs?
Yes. So what will happen is, as you find someone who you think is worthwhile, and we vet their track record, you can see their trades. Essentially, you can see everything other than the exact dollar amount. You can then decide how much money you want to put in that person. As you do that for sort of right on the first time, everything they already have in their portfolio will be open in yours on a proportional basis. And then from that point onward, every time they trade, you will trade at the same time, same price, just proportionally to how much money you've put in. It's very, very simple. It's as if you're buying Bitcoin or Ether, it doesn't matter. You're investing in that person, and then every time they trade, you will trade, same time, same price.
Love it. And and you said that person can give you the reasoning for the trades, and you can actually follow why they're doing it.
It's up to them to decide how much content they put out.
Yeah.
But you can ask them. You have direct interaction with them, so you can ask them, exchange comments via our platform. So you have direct one-to-one interaction with them. And if the person being copied is interested in propagating their strategy, they can, and we're welcome that. We have the tools available for it.
Love it. So I could also go, you know, I'm going to put 30% of my portfolio in Guy, 30% on Joseph, 40% on Yoni, and then and I can do that as well, right?
Exactly.
I love that. Do the popular investors, the popular traders that you follow, do they have to be licensed? Do
No.
they have to be RIAs or anything like that?
Outside of the US, we have portfolio management licenses and so on and so forth. So in each jurisdiction where it is regulated, we are regulated.
Absolutely.
Here in the US, as we get, so by the end of this year, we're planning to add also US stocks to our platform. Right now, we have 14 cryptocurrencies available for trading. Once we will launch stocks, which is, again, by the end of the year, then we will have the appropriate license as a company, a registered investment advisor entity, and those who will be copied will be under that license. Okay. So we will be fully regulated in that sense.
Amazing. And so I want to walk through I'll be embarrassed to tell you that I have eToro and I've played with it for years in the past, but I haven't yet signed up to the new one, but I'm going to today. Okay. Can I come into it with crypto, or do I have to come into it? Like if I create my eToro account right now, can I take $1,000 worth of Bitcoin and put it in?
Great question. So on eToro.com, this is our trading platform. This is where you go through KYC, AML. Yeah. You get to deposit funds. You deposit dollars. Then you can buy Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And then you can transfer that into our wallet. So we have a companion app called eToro Wallet that will allow you to then send receive to whomever you want.
Yeah.
Convert between the different coins that we have available on the wallet. But you cannot send it back to eToro.com because of AML concerns.
Yeah. Okay. So there's some hoops because of regulation. I got that. So I go in, I put in $1,000 in dollars. If I want to take Bitcoin out and not dollars out, I can send it to my eToro wallet to then transfer to Jay for writing a great article. Right. So and then I participate that way. So okay. I love this, and we were talking about this backstage. So now we have this ecosystem here, right? We could walk around the expo floor. We can point at some of the folks we know as traders. We can follow them on eToro. The next step is the social feed. Now, we all want to evangelize this, right? Can we now share our trades publicly ourselves, even if we're not one of the popular ones?
For sure.
With our close friends?
So the default setting is that your trades, your track record is being shared to the rest of the community. That's the default. You can turn that off if you want to, but that's the default. So everyone here can sign up, deposit, start trading, and that will be shared, and they can share it.
When I get a bug up my butt 3 in the morning, I think it's a good time to buy something. All of them will know that I epically failed by 6 in the morning when they wake up.
100%.
I love it. That's why I'm not a good trader. So tell me, what have been? I'm super fascinated by the fact that you guys really get to see the consumer side of things, and I know that consumers sometimes follow behind, right? Because they see it spike and then they come in, and it sometimes doesn't work out. So are there any tips and tricks or signs you see? I know that you'll push people to follow the experts so that you don't fall into those traps, but are there any sort of tips and tricks you guys see from a consumer standpoint of what kind of advice on trading, like not following the masses, or because in a way you're asking people to follow, but you don't want them to fall into that trap, right?
So we've seen in stocks that in many cases a bunch of monkeys throwing darts at stocks do better than some of the best professional money managers out there. I would say that we're all about education, and I think the best advice is to read and practice and trade and see it for yourself. We have this virtual portfolio feature on our platform that is essentially a mirror image of everything that's happening in the real environment, and you can come in and start trading with $100,000 of monopoly money and just see how you're doing.
Oh, that's huge.
See how, if your investment decisions are wise, if you're actually managing to make some money before you risk actual dollars, and then read what people are saying on our feed and outside of our feed too, but just get yourself educated and make the best available decision that you have for yourself. And then through the copy trader feature, you can see who is really doing well and invest in them. Now, obviously, past performance is not a guarantee for future performance, but it's something. It's a data point that allows you to make a decision if you want to invest in that person or not.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's amazing, and we talk about past performance, and we've had a little roller coaster in the crypto world, and we have had an uptick in the last week, which is exciting. Was the market timing? Did that have a play in your launch in the U.S. as well? Did you feel like, okay, we've hit some sort of bottom? Or I'm not going to make you commit to that, obviously, but did you feel like that had something to do with then now is a good time to start getting the masses involved in this? Because I would assume, even if it had nothing to do with you, not your fault, if you had launched in December 2017, you'd have a lot of unhappy customers right now.
So I would say this. We would have launched even if the market would have crashed.
Yeah.
Because we have a long-term view on crypto. We believe that this is going to transform the financial services industry. The price will continue to fluctuate and change. That's fine, but blockchain is the future of the financial services industry. Every vertical in the financial services industry we believe will move into the blockchain, whether it's payments, remittance, debt markets, capital markets, doesn't matter. Everything will move into the blockchain. So if you have like a 5-year, 10-year view of what's going on, we're all in. Doesn't matter what the price is.
Love it. What's really exciting too, just to reiterate on that, I popped in while the Future of Digital Securities panel was happening yesterday, and I peeked in. I sat in the back of the room right in time to hear Jor ask the question to the panelists, do you think at some point, and not to commit to time frame, if all securities will be digitized or tokenized? And most people give like some kind of diplomatic response. We knew that Ami from Spice was going to say yes, of course, because he's way down the rabbit hole with us. But David Wield, the former vice chairman of NASDAQ, without hesitation at all, yes, 100%. Which is huge, right? I mean, so we all believe this is the future, and they have this same ideology of. I think most of us got in this space. I know, Yoni got in the space for similar reasons. We talked crowdfunding 10 years ago. Yoni is the CEO of eToro, and so we all have this level playing field. This isn't all about accredited investors. Let's give the tools to everyone. So I know you guys have that same ideology. What do you think will be, I know, we've hit this, but from a, catalyst or future perspective, what do you think will be the inflection point where this is just crypto and stock? Because I know you're bringing stocks to the table, but you launch with crypto, which is incredible. What do you think will be that tipping point where, we're not the minority in the room here. We're the converted already, or if you're not already all in, you are at least very interested and you're here, and I bet you within a few months you will be all in.
So I think that we see that elsewhere in the world.
Yeah.
We see regulators, market participants, and gatekeepers like auditing companies, including the big fours and law firms, all slowly but surely getting into a mindset that this is happening.
Yeah.
That this is happening, that and we see that elsewhere. We see different jurisdictions fighting for this industry. So you will see, maybe not necessarily here in the US, but you will see other countries transform their economies and transform the way that they do business onto the blockchain. I think very soon, not a month, but a few years. Here in the US, where we have the largest capital markets in the world, I believe that it's bound to happen. I think all the market participants kind of understand that, including NASDAQ, including the people at the SEC. It's just of how can we get there?
Yeah.
How can we get there? I think it's a combination of the right political environment, the right, maybe the right decision by a particular executive here and there on when to kind of flip the switch on something. But the point is that it will happen.
Yes.
For sure.
1,000%. I agree. And I won't go there because there's some articles. You've seen me trolling some of our local politicians who have spoken against crypto. And so I'm not going to go there right now, but there's definitely, they are disincentivized for crypto to be super popular in some ways. And so there's some walls there. And I think from a consumer perspective, some of the themes we've seen and discussed is that in the United States, even though we know and we feel that it's better, it's marginally better because people do still feel like their US dollars are digital, that they could transfer them around from their bank accounts and things like that. And so, but in the rest of the world, it's significantly better, especially in certain countries. So we're seeing crazy mass adoption in those countries. From a United States now perspective, I know that you guys are also not just focused on launching this product, but you're also thinking about some other locations and places in the United States, and you have some novel ideas on working in those places. Backstage we talked about, I think you said Kansas City, or what was, you had some ideas.
No, so we feel that it's important to activate local markets. We are a community.
Yeah.
We are a community online. We want to bring that sense of community into the real world too. So we have ideas on how to do that in different markets. Not necessarily kind of the obvious markets like San Francisco or New York City, but also in markets where people are really genuinely interested in this. They're trying to build their wealth. They understand that it's an opportunity here where trillions of dollars will move from traditional markets into the blockchain, and they want to participate. So we have all sorts of plans on how to do it. That's on the kind of physical space. And then we have a very, I think, interesting ideas on how the entire advice market will transform with crypto. So today there's billions and billions of dollars being managed by traditional registered investment advisors.
Yes, we were going to go there.
That have physical places in part. There's a lot of companies have huge physical
offices,
and
offices, retail locations.
Exactly. And so we feel that the advice market will transform too. Again, every vertical in the financial services industry will be transformed, including the advice market. And because of the way that we do business, because of our copy trader feature, because we have another feature called copy portfolios, these are our own investment strategies that we put out there for people to invest in, including those who are specifically about crypto. We have some ideas on how to transform or help the transformation in the advice market happen too, so that when you would want to have an advisor help you invest and build your wealth, crypto will be part of it.
Yes.
And so this is something that we're passionate about as well.
I love that. So imagine, you see in your city, right? There's the strip mall, there's the Charles Schwab office or the Edward Jones office, or let's not even give one of the big ones. Like I'll give something that's super traditional. My brother has a wealth management firm called Financial Point, where they basically do IRAs and investment advice and things like that, but mostly retirement accounts and stuff like that. I could imagine a world going into his office and there's at least the one person that you go to and discuss crypto with. How amazing would that be? I'm constantly telling him, don't send your don't yet send your clients to crypto. You're responsible for their retirement. But
it's bound to happen.
It has to.
The convergence of digital securities happening will obviously impact the advisory market. So these two are kind of go hand in hand. That transformation will happen, and we're very interested as a company to be at that inflection point and make sure that at least young people, millennials and early maybe Gen X people, when they are looking at the world and trying to say, okay, how can I build my wealth, that they will have advice that has crypto component in it to some extent.
Absolutely have to. It's the same way with everything. You have to be exposed and diversified, and if this is going to be the future, which we all believe in, you have to. And so, and also I'm thinking of it from not a cynical perspective, but just a practical perspective. It's this new industry, and we say things like dinosaurs will die, right? So if they are not, like here's eToro, I could go on there, I could start being followed. I'm not a good trader, so don't follow me on my trades. I'll be following other people. But let's say I do go on there, I can earn a percentage, just like an RIA gets their 3% of sending somebody to a certain investment if I don't participate in that as an RIA, if I don't participate in it as a wealth manager or a licensed investment advisor, I believe that I'm at least a portion, but probably a significant portion of my future is at jeopardy, right?
Yeah,
if you
exactly.
if you don't adopt or adapt, you're not going to be a part of the future.
I believe that's the future, and I believe that everyone who's a registered investment advisor, everyone thinking about providing a device, should look at crypto. This is the future, and we're definitely going to play a role in it.
I love it. And one quick thing before we go, one, tell us where to go, and I love that we in the United States may not have known about eToro so much, but we have tens of millions of users, $160 million in funding.
$162 million raised to date.
$162 million raised to date. So this is a juggernaut in the social investing space now coming to the United States. I'm really, really excited that they're here. I know a lot of you saw the seat covers and all the branding everywhere, and we're like, who's eToro? Where's eToro? And Guy is here now, and we're really excited about this. So tell us where to go right now to sign up and where to follow you and the team.
So please go to eToro.com, sign up, start investing, or download the app from the different app stores. Just look for eToro, sign up, and join the ride.
Love it. Thank you so much for coming.